You are watching Fox and Friends First. I'm Carly Shimkus. I'm Todd Pyro. Trey Yingst is live in Tel Aviv with the latest out of the Middle East. Trey. Good morning. Intense 24 hours across the Middle East. Minutes ago, explosions rocked Tehran as Israelis are going on the offensive after they came under Iranian Ballistic missile attack. This started yesterday afternoon. IDF struck Beirut, going after Hezbollah's command and control center there in response to rocket and drone attack over northern border. Iranians threatened to target Israel for hitting their largest proxy and later launched 4 waves of ballistic missiles at the country. I spoke on the phone with President Trump, who told me what I would suggest to Iran. You shot your missiles. That's enough. Get back to the table and make a deal, the president said. President Trump indicating this will not help ongoing negotiations. Israel launched a series of airstrikes targeting central and western Iran and hitting a petrochemical plant in western Iran as Iranians started to launch at Israel. This morning, civilians in Tel Aviv awoke to sirens sounding. Houthi and Iranian proxies launched a missile towards central part of this country. This morning, more waves and the region waiting to see what will come next in aftermath of strikes taking place as we speak. A lot of back and forth happening and ceasefire collapsed and war has resumed.
The president said an agreement could be signed today, tomorrow, or Wednesday. Could this push that timeline back?
Absolutely. President Trump expected a deal to be signed today, tomorrow, or Wednesday. And now this, he said, and was pointing to the fact that will change the timeline in the negotiations. Interesting statement from the spokesperson for Iranian Foreign Ministry, who indicated there are still messages being exchanged with the United States through mediators in Pakistan. They may be trying to get things back on track. This may escalate before it de-escalates. They are urging civilians to adhere to the ASHGSZ alerts.
One more fundamental question on background so people understand. Why is this ramped up fighting taking place right now?
This is happening in the context of a broader war that occurred earlier this year during Operation Epic Fury, when United States and Israel launched strikes against the Iranian regime to target the military infrastructure. They were unwilling at that time to reach settlement, address the nuclear program. Negotiators, including Steve Witkoff and Kushner, have made progress, but things have stalled in the region, with Iran unwilling to make those concessions for the enriched uranium. So right now, as things stand, conflict resumed, linked to situation in Lebanon and conflict between Israel and Iran's largest proxy, Hezbollah. Trey Yingst live, thank you. Bring in international relation expert Dr. Rebecca Grant. You just heard Trey Yingst say this ceasefire is all but over. Do you agree?
I do, but technically that is the call of Admiral Cooper, who command our forces in Central Command. I'm sure forces are on high alert there. We'll see what will be done. From a tactical perspective, this was the smart move by Israel to go after air defense strikes and that barrage of 10 incoming missiles from Iran against Israel. Iran started it. Iran is really running low on missiles.
Also, some reporting about how the president told Prime Minister Netanyahu not to retaliate against Iran following Iran's initial wave of missile strikes, and told Trey Yingst he's not happy about Israel's strikes on Lebanon. Someone described that as divide between Israel and U.S. Others say that is difference in opinion between allies. What you do, you view it? Difference of opinion between two allies. Looks like Israel picked up some sites for targeting. This is a good move for forces in the region. President Benjamin Netanyahu and President Trump close allies, and I think these strikes will put pressure on Iran, and I like that.
Dr. Grant, you heard Trey Yingst talk about Lebanon, and I heard something interesting in the overnight hours with Ashley Strohmeyer. One foreign policy analyst said he thought Iran cares more about Hezbollah than it does about its nuclear program. Do you agree with that? What do you make of that assessment?
They are trying to use Hezbollah's grip on Lebanon to ruin the talks with the U.S. in order to keep that nuclear dust, right? I think the nuclear dust is something they are negotiating on. President Trump won't stop until we have that nuclear dust accounted for. And with talks taking place between Israel and Lebanon, Hezbollah is on the ropes. Rebecca, missile alert sirens sounding in Saudi Arabia near an airbase that hosts U.S. forces. And the president said a red line to restarting military action is killing of Americans. They are very, very tightly protected. Now experts in that counter-drone and counter-missile threat. They are buttoned down. Those strike options are ready to go anytime. Admiral Cooper are ready. 2 aircraft carriers, AAA, a lot of air ready to hit back. Iran better watch it. This is very close to seeing U.S. strikes, unless President Trump is happy with state of negotiations. You said this could happen. If you were advising the president and his team, would you encourage further kinetic strikes against Iran to get them to the table? That is a big ask. Look at the Israeli BDA. We could still have air dominance there. I encourage strikes and targets and crews to be ready to go. Yemen Houthi rebels were part of this attack. How significant is that? The Houthis, we knocked them out pretty bad in 2025. I don't like seeing them weigh into the mix. They claim they will close the Red Sea. It is nothing. Israel can handle Houthi ballistic missiles. Houthis are a sideshow right now. Today marks 100th day of the Iran war, launched on February 28th. We'll wait to see what happens in